Hi, friends. We're going to be talking about things that are big and small today. So, this story is called The Actual Size and it's written by Stephen Jenkins. Did you ever look a giant squid in the eye? Have you shaken hands with a gorilla or been face to face with a tiger? All of the animals in this book are shown at their actual size, so you can see how you measure up to creatures both big and large and small. So this is an Atlas moth. It says the Atlas moth is so large that it is often mistaken for a bird. So look at my hand. This moth is bigger than my hand. And remember, my hand's bigger than your hand. So look at your mommy or your dad or your aunt or your tia's hand or your grandma's hand and see how big that is. And this moth is bigger than my hand. And so it says a dwarf goby is the smallest of all fish. So do you see how tiny this is? It's smaller than my finger. Now I'm going to bring it close so you can see it. Oh, I was going to try to. Nope. There we go. It is very, 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 very tiny. Let's see if it'll focus again, my friends. Focus. There we go. Oh my goodness, look at this ginormous eye. A giant squid lives deep in the ocean where its enormous eyes help it see in dim light. So its eye is bigger probably than my head. So can you imagine how large a squid is if this is the size of its eye? It's bigger than both of my hands put together. That is a ginormous animal. Look at that huge bear. An Alaskan brown bear is the largest meat-eating animal that lives on land. It is huge. Here's the largest bird, an ostrich, with its egg. So its egg is bigger than my hand. I would have to use both hands to hold its egg. Think about eggs, they're normally pretty small. This is huge. And look how huge his head is. He's a pretty large animal. A 2-foot long tongue. This must be a giant anteater snacking on its favorite food, termites. So look how long his tongue is. And remember that all these pictures are their actual size. So his leg is about probably as long as from your waist down to the floor. That's how long its tongue is, an anteater's tongue. Look at this huge spider. Again, it's bigger than my hand. I don't like spiders. The Goliath bird eater tarantula is big enough to catch and eat birds and small animals. That is a pretty large animal if it can catch birds and eat it. That's a huge spider. Too scary for me. A saltwater crocodile, the world's largest reptile, is a man-eater. Oh, we're not talking about that. That's. Oh. Do you know what that is? Look how huge that is. Again, look at my hand. It's as long as my arm, right? Do you know what this is? Can you tell by how it's jumping? It's a frog. Look at that frog, bigger than my arm. The Goliath frog lives in Africa. It's big enough to catch and eat birds and rats. Never heard of a frog. Oh, this book just creeps me out. This is too great. I'm scared I can't even read. This is too close to a great white shark. Look how huge their mouth is. Its teeth are like the size of my hand almost. Can you imagine how big he must be if his teeth are the size of hands? And look, there's a gorilla hand. The huge gorilla and the pygmy mouse lemur both have hands like ours. So their hands look like ours, but look, his hand is a lot bigger than mine. And the pygmy mouse lemur, its hand is as big as my fingernail. So they're similar. They have the same types of hands, just like us, but they're completely different than each other. Oh! The Siberian tiger is the biggest of all the cats. Look how huge he is. The Goliath beetle is the world's heaviest insect. That's a bug. A bug as big as my hand. Not for me. This is huge. The rare giant walking stick is the world's largest insect. Look how huge that is. Again, that's probably as long as my arm. And it's a bug. Ooh. Do you know whose foot this is? This ginormous foot? This foot belongs to the largest land animal, the African elephant. He could probably smush my head with that. That's huge. That is a very big foot. So here's all the animals. So here is the Atlas moth and the dwarf goby, and here's a giant squid. So this is what the squid looks like, and we just saw its eye, so its body's a lot bigger. We saw the Alaskan brown bear, the ostrich, the giant anteater. Remember his tongue was 2 foot long? The Goliath bird-eating tarantula, the saltwater crocodile, the Goliath frog, ooh, the great white shark, gorilla, pygmy mouse lemur, Siberian tiger, Goliath beetle, giant walking stick. There's an elephant like with a huge foot, the African elephant, and the giant Gisby earthworm. Did I miss the earthworm? Oh no, there's the earthworm. The giant Gisby earthworm lives in Australia. Look at that. Look how huge that earthworm is. That looks like the size of a snake. And that is an earthworm. I do not want to ever see that earthworm in person. Too big for me. So, friends, your assignment is going to be to find something around your house and take a picture of something that is large in your house, and then something that is very tiny in your house. So, something very large and something very tiny. Okay, I'll talk to y'all soon.